The Coruscant City streets are in danger, as the droid army orbital bombards them and then begins their full-scale invasion of the Coruscant bridges. Hundreds of B-2 battle droids, dwarf spider droids, tri-droids, AAT tanks, MTTs, and thousands of B-1 battle droids are ready to charge down the bridge. Mace Windu is ready with hundreds of 65th Coruscant guards to try and stop the droids, utilizing barricades and whatever turrets they have to try and wipe them out before they can get into the Jedi Temple. This is the largest Star Wars bridge battle I think we've ever done on the channel, and that's saying a lot because we've been making Star Wars battles for like 6 years now. And this is made by Darth Bacon, one of the most legendary modders in Star Wars Galaxy at War history, and he has done it again with the most gorgeous looking Battle of Coruscant map I have ever seen in my life, and we're gonna get right on into this thing. So if you guys do enjoy, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get into this thing. Real quick, huge thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video. They have literally the best deals in gaming. I use it all the time. If you like Star Wars games, Lego Star Wars for $2. Star Wars Battlefront 2 for $9. One of my favorite Star Wars games, Jedi Knight Jedi Academy, $1.70. If you want to play the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, Men of War Assault Squad 2, $3. Extremely popular games can be up to 99% off. Link in the description below. Thank you to Instant Gaming for sponsoring the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Let's get into the video. Alrighty then, boyos, let's go in slow-mo here for the start. There are thousands of entities on this battlefield, so it is going to be a very laggy start, but as more droids and clones alike die, the frames should be released, and we should start to get less and less lag. Massive explosions ripping through both sides here right off the rip. We're seeing tons of clone troopers dropping behind their barricades there, but the clones clap back with rocket shots against super battle droids, causing chain reaction explosions throughout some of those lighter droids out there and destroying their ranks. I'm still seeing a bunch of super battle droids coming forward, as well as some of those dwarf spider droids who have incredible AA guns on the front of them. They're technically an AA droid, but they also point them downwards towards infantry during these battles, much like flak guns in World War II, which were used against tanks, but were mainly purposed for fighting against aircraft. You can see that looming tri-droid in the distance off over there. That thing will one-shot kill any clone trooper, and it is basically a sniper tank. It will fire at any clone trooper, even all the way back here, and one-shot kill them. So the clones really need to watch out for that. I mean, look at this. Like 6 trenches back, we've got dead clones over here, although these are probably from either wrist rockets from the super battle droids or AAT shots there. But they probably didn't even get to fire a single shot before they exploded and were snuffed out from the battle. Someone left their Bacta and Chinese food on the ground here. That's not very sanitary, boys. Clean up after yourself. I know there's piles of rubble everywhere, but still, a clean Coruscant is a happy Coruscant. The Tri-Droid continues to snipe out clone troopers from a distance. We've got AATs firing out HE shots and basically acting as artillery for the droid army. There's still a few super battle droids up here. They could be dead and fried and just still standing potentially, or they might be concussed because weirdly B2 super battle droids in this mod actually can become concussed, weirdly enough. However, right now they're not moving at all, so they might just be dead, and B1s begin to move forward. Only a few of them have died on this battlefield thus far, as none of them were really in the vanguard. Actually, a lot of those guys were just concussed because they got back up. Wow! Rockets firing and hitting the AAT tanks way out front there, so that thing might go down pretty soon. Usually it's about 4 or 5 of those rockets to kill one of the blue AATs, so they're not far from that at all. I wonder if these 50 mils are still alive for the clones also. I'm guessing not, considering the massive scorch marks on them, but it is very surprising to see 65th Coruscant Guard troopers so far up here and still alive. Now, you might be seeing these clones and thinking that they're moving a little bit differently in this mod. And you'd be right, because we are also using Darth Bacon's animation overhaul mod. So where they normally would be taking cover in the same stance here, basically crouched and cowering behind the blockade. Now there's a bunch of different animations they can use to crouch and cower with. So as you can see, this guy's sort of facing the barricade. This guy's like side angling it more or less. I believe there's also new death animations, new standing and firing animations, new kneeling and firing animations, new idle animations, etc., etc. It's for the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, and it implements so many new animations that we'll be able to see throughout this battle, hopefully. Pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll use it in all of my Galaxy at War mod stuff in the future, because I do kind of like the original Men of War positioning, and just this gives a lot more of a casual look to it. It looks a lot more like Battlefront 2 stancing behind cover, versus Men of War is a little bit more like utilizing the cover, if that makes sense. But still, it's fun to see some new animations in such an old mod. Darth Bacon has been really killing it lately with his mods, with his maps. I mean, seriously, he is completely bringing back Men of War Assault Squad 2, the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, single-handedly. Alright, AATs continue to push forward here. B1 battle droids are very, very slow to approach the front lines, and honestly, that's probably a good thing. Kind of going for a bit of a blitzkrieg method, if you will, here. The tanks softening up the enemy lines before the infantry comes on in to try and clean it all up later on. So this is not a bad strategy from the droids, and it's working because they're getting kills all the way back here, man. I mean, that is pretty crazy. None way back this way, but all the way back here is pretty far. We do have Mace Windu being drawn out. He is on free move mode, so he will come and go as he please from the battlefield, and maybe dip in, take some shots, dip out, etc., etc. Normally, the Jedi and Sith in this mod are best as kind of cannon fodder. Best for attracting a lot of fire, since they're basically tank units, and then dipping out once they can't take the heat. They're not very good killers, if you catch my drift. Either way, rocket shots, AAT shots, tri-droid shots, all still impacting the clone trooper lines right here, but the droids themselves are not pushing in very far. They're not interested in doing so just yet, and I don't blame them. There's still so many clones back there. They've also still got a whole nother lineup of 50mm turrets over this way. Then they've got anti-infantry turrets over here, and then an AV7 cannon all the way back here, which is probably out of range right now, but much closer, and the droids are going to start really feeling the heat from those HE shots that the AV cannon can fire. And it also has AP shots that it can use against some of the tanks that come forward. So yeah, armor penetration is within its wheelhouse. Either way, the start of this battle is a little bit slow here, as the droids just choose a bit more of a passive stance. So why don't we go ahead and time-lapse the clone defense for a little bit here, while the droids continue shelling their lines, and they don't really push their infantry forward just yet. Okay, about 4 minutes have gone by here, and the droid infantry is a lot closer now, so we're seeing actual spam fire coming in from the droid ranks, and a lot of that is going straight into Mace Windu here, who is, in fact, acting as cannon fodder for the droid army, basically. And the clones are not taking advantage of that, because I think they're out of range back here. None of them are firing, which really blows. That sucks. So the droids are able to shoot Mace Windu, and his sacrifice is going completely unused. Whoopsie. Fell off the bridge ourselves there for a second. There's still a few clones back here that are alive, but the rubble is obviously too high for them to shoot over right there, so they're mainly there to fire at droids as they round the corner. It's a good strategy, but right now Mace Windu is completely goofing this up, since the clones can't really fire at these droids. It's just kind of silly. Mace might even die here. It's just so much fire going out. It's kind of crazy. Oh, a very nice rocket shot there. Wow, good one. Good one from the clones. Holy cow. All right, why don't we watch from the droid side of things going in now, as this clone army continues to derp. I feel like usually it's the droids derping, but this time it's definitely the clones. Droids are really slow rolling this part of the battle here, continuing to just kind of spam fire. They did kill Mace Windu a while ago, but they're still just shooting at the clones without any response, which honestly is the most intelligent way to do this. Just continuously whittle down clones bit by bit. The most we're seeing is clone snipers firing in, because that's the only unit with the range for it. Although apparently rocket troopers can as well, which is shocking, since the rest of the units here don't fire. But hopefully the clones can start firing fairly soon. It's just brutal right now, because the droids can just use their heavy weaponry to just shoot it up. And you see every so often a clone does fire back here as a droid gets close enough for them. So these guys are capable of firing. They're not glitched or anything like that. It's just pure derp. It's just pure and utter derp here. Or just pure and utter good strategy from the droids, to be honest. Do have the clones over here using their precious grenades. There's all these droids back here that the clones could be grenading later on, but instead they're using it on one singular droid there. I can't say that's a very good idea. More explosions begin to rock the droid lines as they get closer and closer, but still Tri-Droid, AAT, Dwarf Spider, and Super Battle Droid fire begins to rock even more of these clone troopers behind cover over this way. So it is still a very lopsided battle in the droids' favor based on how this is going at the moment. Droids using their armor to their advantage, using their range to their advantage, and really giving a beatdown to the clone troopers right now. However, that armor is going to be stopped right around here. They're not going to be able to circumvent through all of this rubble and things like that. They'll likely get caught on the bricks and things. There's some of that AB7 cannon fire coming in. That's huge for the clones. Beautiful. So yeah, pretty soon it will just be up to droid infantry to come forward and try and break down the remaining clone trooper lines past this point. So right now the clones are finally entering the chat with an AB cannon firing away. And did the Tri-Droid snipe him out? Oh my god. Oh, he's still alive. He's just unconscious. So he'll get back in there and fire again once he wakes up. But my god, I think the Tri-Droid tried to snipe the gunner out of there. That is absolutely insane. Holy cow. Again, things are not going well for the clone troopers. Very nice rocket shot right there. Some of those new death animations being featured. And there are some nice return fire AAT shots. Dwarf Spider actually backing off of the bridge right now, deciding this was just a little too much heat for him. He's used to being able to pour fire in and not have to seal any return fire. But now he's having to deal with it, and he's retreating. Coward! Truly cowardice from them. All right, let's watch the droids a little bit longer here. All right, here we go. More droids finally reaching that front section over this way. I am noticing shots from the AV cannon going out, and that whiffs the droids over here. Oh, no! The concussive blast actually gets a number of them killed. Was not expecting that one. My goodness. More grenades going out and things like that. Still the droids behind this kind of barrier over here. Just not coming forward far enough. This is redonkulous. We're basically just having a standoff right now of all ranged units fighting each other, beating each other up, and really neither side getting anywhere. The droids still have a massive force. If you look at the top left, red are droids left alive, and then blue are clones left alive. A bit more spread out, but still very powerful for both sides, honestly. Well, look at all the dead back here. My goodness, and their bodies run over, and just their guns remain. My gubernatorial. All right, why don't we watch a little bit more from a distance here while things continue to kind of just be tit for tat. All right, boyos. Currently, the clone troopers, honestly, they're doing pretty well considering the droids are continuing to fire from afar, and now the clones are getting more involved with their own small arms fire, and on top of that, the AV cannon has in fact been shredding. It currently has 48 infantry kills, 3 vehicle kills. That's pretty impressive. Oh! Alright, that anti-infantry gun is very much so dead now. Rip to that boyo, but it is what it is. So, the droids are still very, very clustered up, making for easy shooting for the clones. Let's go ahead and bump it up a speed here and get this thing really rolling as, you know, the clones are just kind of holding back right now, defending the bridge staunchly. Droids are oh! They're zeroing in on that AV cannon, baby. They are zeroing in. They want the kill. Look at that. More shots going into it. They want to kill that thing. Ooh, AAT's actually making some moves. Okay, all right. Maybe we're going to have ourselves a bit more of an impactful battle now. It's been a minute of just kind of back and forth, but I think the droids have identified that the AV cannon back there is their biggest threat. That is the biggest problem to their war effort right now, and so they continuously are shelling it, trying to kill it, but not managing to do so yet. It takes another shot. More explosive shots hitting the clone trooper front line as more and more fire begins to erupt. Another very close shot there actually impacts some clones in front of the AV cannon, getting some kills. So at the very least, the shots for the droids are not completely going unused on the battlefield. They are getting some kills. Tons of droid infantry over here coming forward. We've got explosions striking some of the super battle droids and dwarf spiders back this way. More droid infantry continues to push on forward. Droid rockets schmoving on out there, but not really doing all that much. And you can see that AV cannon still moving about back there and firing. Oh, we actually might have another hit against it. Very, very close. If they just hit the other side of it, they would get the kill. But no, AAT trying to migrate through that debris field right there. That's going to be a tough movement through that area. And now clones are shelling with their bazooka fire and probably getting a very, very large number of kills against them. AV cannon actually strikes out against that, and a shot goes just whizzing past the ear of that guy, landing back here harmlessly against the clones. This AV cannon, I feel like its days are numbered, but the droids just have yet to be able to zero in on this guy. They've hit to his left, they've whizzed shots straight past his right, and just not quite colliding where they want to. I love the sound of it moving. It sounds so good. It's not really firing right now, and I stand corrected. The daily curse as it takes a big old pot shot right there. More shots coming in against the clone troopers from the tri-droids over this way. More shots impacting the droids as well, but for now, we continue with the slugfest. Neither side managing to really dominate quite yet, but the clones are definitely getting some good stopping points right now and eliminating a very, very solid quantity of droids. If that AV cannon hit right here, it would wipe out like a third of the droid force in an instant. But no. Grenades getting thrown by clones as well over this way. Droids continue to try and shell this thing, but still failing to actually connect with it. And honestly, bazooka clones are doing some extreme damage. Oh, a massive shot right there. Right in the kissa. And more shots attempt to connect. The clones with their bazookas are also firing at some of these AATs now. Clones out there getting grenaded, and they are going to die now. That'll be one less distraction for the droids to have to deal with here. This really has been a slugfest of a battle so far. I think we're looking at thousands of dead droids and hundreds of dead clones at the moment, but still, so many more droids continue to come forward, and there's still so many clone defenses further back. Massive shot destroys the anti-infantry gun right there, kills a couple of troopers around it as well. But still, that thing probably got a decent number of kills before finally going down. More shots. Let's see. Still not connecting with it. They are so close. They've hit everywhere but the driver of this thing at this point. And this guy is, I'm just going to say it, pretty much invincible with his luck. He's got 109 infantry kills, 3 vehicle kills. Extraordinarily impressive. Oh, massive shelling going very wide there. Come on. Someone impact this thing. Oh, that was dead straight into it, and it is still alive. The absurdity of this thing, my goodness. Holy cow. Well, things are slowing down again. Why don't we do another time lapse watching the AV cannon back this way as it takes another big boy shot. Let's just see where that lands real quick. Hits a tank. Okay. Okay. Finally, a massive shot strikes the AV cannon right there, and it burns. On top of that, incendiary barrels to the left burn a number of clone infantry over that way. We do have AATs continuing to come forward and getting smacked by some bazooka shots, but this AV cannon going down is massive. That thing was responsible for hundreds of droid deaths, and now the droid infantry is going to have a far easier time coming on forward without that massive piece of artillery striking against them. I think the bazookas for the clones are still going to be very effective, but at least in this case, that AV cannon, which I think did definitely the most damage of anything so far, it's gone! It's gone. We can rejoice in that if you are rooting for the droids. If you're rooting for the clones, it's a big loss, but you know, remember, we've still got tons of clone troopers back here, as well as some more guns back here, some beam turrets and things along those lines. We've got Fox and Hound back here as well. So the clones are far from completely diminished or anything along those lines. They're still a very strong fighting force at this point, and we're going to see a lot more infantry combat now, I think, as we go forward. More of the AATs for the droids have died up until this point, so we're going to see less AAT action as well. And that Tri-Droid, I don't think will be able to come farther forward. It's still able to fire as of right now, but yeah, I think it will probably stop coming forward at that point. 50mm, which I'm pretty sure has been dead for about 10 minutes now, gets rocked by another shot right there for no good reason. Clones with bazookas absolutely shredding droids with their explosive fire, and droids respond with tons of fire of their own. We can see some of those new animations in progress right here. They look pretty darn good. I do like them quite a bit. And droid rockets firing out that way, responding back to the clone troopers. The problem is the droids are so clustered up over here that they're just going to take hit after hit, and they just have to try and tank it. There's very, very little they can do about it. They'll just die out over here from massive explosions, hitting so many of them all at once. It's just a multitude of shots coming in over and over and over again, thrashing them, killing them. It's brutal. Their numeric superiority is starting to wane a little bit. I mean, they've still got a lot of troops, but they've suffered some extreme losses at this point. So I don't know how much longer that numeric superiority is going to protect them from the clone lines. We've got a little bit of quiet on the Western Front over here now, as neither side seems to be firing right now, but it's only a matter of time before someone pulls the trigger and starts firing yet again. You can see just the sheer rubble of this battlefield at this point. So many dead on this thing. It has been a real one so far, and I think we're not even close to being done with it just yet. Basically just a grind fest of a battle. Like, we have not had a battle that's just so much grinding for both sides in a very, very long time. Alright, I do see the droids kind of marching around out there. Are they gonna come forward? What's going on here? I feel like the clones are in range. They're just not really firing at the droids. Oh, that AAT, I just heard them run over a ton of droids. Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god, it's just killing droids. Boys, that's not very smart. Okay. Are you stuck? Like, can they not come forward? What's the problem here? Are you guys stuck? Is this blockaded or something? Alright, wait, hold on. Let's delete this and delete a little bit of rubble. Oh, whoopsie. Just deleted something big. My bad. Here, we'll delete that. Okay, we deleted a part of the bridge over there, but I think maybe the rubble is preventing the droid infantry coming forward?
Ah, well.
Why? Okay, there's something blocking. Here, destroy that stuff. Oh god, the tank's killing more of them. Alright, I think they can come forward now through that avenue. That's weird. It may be just a little too clustered up over this way. And there we go. The battle starts up again. just a little bit of derping. A few droids run over by their own AAT in the process. I mean, we're back to the droids being derpy. Who's surprised? I mean, it was bound to happen at some point. The droids just can't help but be weird little goofballs. It's just in their nature, honestly. That's all it is. All right, a little bit more sporadic fire here. Why don't we time-lapse for a bit? Troops are continuing their holdout. The clones, honestly, kind of having the droids in a bit of a chokehold. The droids that cross a little too far forward end up just getting blasted to oblivion. Meanwhile, the ones a little bit farther back are not quite accurate enough to really be getting too many clone trooper kills. So it's a bit of a catch-22, move forward and die, or stay behind and not get any kills and eventually have to go forward and die, but then you die, so it's just not a good time. Ooh, that was a good bazooka shot right there, though. Let's see, can we bump this up into full steam ahead? I do see the Tri-Droid is still firing out a little bit. We know it can hit up to the AV cannon right there, but its accuracy is going to be plummeting as time goes on at this point. That droid falls through the beams of the bridge. Where did that AAT come from? What in the Sam heck is going on here? That is absolutely absurd. Holy cow. Alright, now the droids are boosting rockets through this thing, spamming fire into the bridge defenders at this point. Bridge defenders over. This guy's in the wall. How did you end up in the wall, good sir? This guy's doing squats. What on earth is he's in the wall too now. What on earth is happening? What is going on here? Truly. Yeah, the droid's still going very, very slowly. They have to clear out all of these clone troopers that are kind of just hiding behind the debris, so that just makes an extra challenge for them going forward, which is just a bit of a pain in the butt at the moment. But still, at least they're making some progress now versus earlier where they were just kind of stalemating. So we are seeing some movement from the droids, the clones able to respond in kind and still get a decent number of kills against said droids, but it's still happening. Let's go ahead and watch. Okay, the droids have made it leagues farther than before. Look at that. The clones, though, still have a very solid defense line back here, despite a number of explosions taking out a lot of them over time. And then even further back behind that, we've got even more clones waiting in the wings, and then, of course, the final defense over this way. So the droids are kind of getting closer to that final defense moment. However, if we look at the deaths currently on the battlefield, yellow are dead clones, red are dead droids. More droids are starting to die out over here. It's also important to note that this is not all of the dead droids. You see, there's a billion guns over here and no bodies around them. That's because tanks and stuff deleted the bodies when they roll over them, or explosions deleted them. Especially over this way. Look at all of these weapons and no bodies. Each of those weapons is a dead droid. So yeah, thousands of dead droids. It just doesn't look like a ton when you open up the panel right there. We do still have one clone right here chilling. He's got 2 kills. He's just in his safety barrel. He's just vibing out in his safety barrel, trying to do his best. He's under so much pressure. Thank goodness they can't fire through that thing. I have a feeling this droid's gonna cap him though. Oh no! He claps his cheeks before getting gunned down himself. What a G. That was amazing. Way to go, buddy. Way to go! Alright, and then 65th Coruscant Guard back this way, continuing to spam out fire against the oncoming droid army. I do still see AATs out there, moving around. Not a ton of fire coming in from them at this point in time, and the Tri-Droid also still looming overhead over that way. The droids, they do kind of have to come into either this pocket here or this pocket over here, and the rest is blockaded by temple statues and debris and things like that. So the clones do have some sort of choke points almost forming here that could be very effective. They've got 2 DC-15X gunners, which are very, very high powerful sniper rifles. Oh, my man's got back up. Let's go. Can't say the same for a lot of them, but these 2 did. That's good. The others are dead, though. Dang. That whole defense setup is just kind of gone in an instant. You hate to see it. That is not good times. Not good times. Droids are definitely slowing down again as they meet this clone resistance here. But they're going to try and push on forward to get as far forward as they can. A couple clones over this way firing around the corner. Again, there's just not enough clones now in this area to like get huge number of kills. But at the very least, they can hopefully get a kill here or there. Let's watch for a while. We're starting to see our first actual holdout position here, despite that absolute nuke that torched a lot of those guys earlier on. The remainder is killing droids as they come on in, and the droids aren't really able to get through that pocket. And then troopers over here are deflecting the droids that are trying to circumvent on the right side. So this might be the beginning of the end for the droids, and a final holdout for the clone army at this point. We might be seeing that, we might not. I'm hoping we'll see it because, clones have taken a beating here, and they've stopped the droid attack at every juncture, and I really hope they win this one. Clones continue to chill, and the droids are crumbling now. Their infantry push finally is being defeated. There's not many of them left. Biggest pocket is over here. There's a couple over here. And there's like a few locked up back here, but the tanks are kind of blocking them from pushing forward. So I think the clones are, in fact, going to have the W here. This guy's in the block again. Bruh. I guess let's watch to the end, but yeah, this is going to be a clone W for sure. And I believe that is all she wrote right there, with the clones getting a victory. This fella's got 9 kills. This trooper's got only 1. This trooper's got none. This trooper's got 36. This guy's got 26. This guy's got 1. This guy's got none. None, 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 none. 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 2. 2. None. 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 Wow. Well, these two, they did some work at the end there, killing the last just about 100 soldiers, all by their lonesome. And of course, these clones in front of them with thousands of kills between them all, and of course the AV cannon coming in clutch. But definitely a closer battle than I would have thought towards the end. If you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.